Israel's offensive has displaced most of Gaza's 2.3 million people from their homes. According to the United Nations, a quarter of Gaza's population is starving. This comes as airdrops by the US and other nations continues. Deliveries on a new sea route have begun. But aid groups say more ground routes and fewer Israeli restrictions on them are needed to meet humanitarian needs in any significant way. A World Central Kitchen staff member posted a video showing the last pallets of aid being unloaded off the first Gaza aid supply ship. Meanwhile, the founder too encouraged other countries to use the same route for aid.
All right, there it is, the last 2 pallets of food getting loaded onto the last truck. Behind me, off of the barge, is the open arms boat back there. 200 tons of food delivered here in northern Gaza. It's going to go up to Gaza City, not tonight, it's pretty late, but soon.
The World Health Organization's regional director, Hanan Balkai, visited Gaza's aid warehouses in Egypt's Arish and Rafah border crossing. Balkai called for a swift ease to the land borders of Gaza for more aid to get inside.
We hope that there will be a swift easing, especially for the land borders, because there are land, air and seaports. The most beneficial for the residents of the occupied lands to have the land ports facilitated and eased. God willing, of all these things happen soon, and we hope for quick peace for this problem.
2 airplanes were also seen from Israel dropping humanitarian aid packages into northern Gaza. An official Jordanian news agency said that their military conducted 6 airdrops carrying food aid into Gaza, involving Jordan, Egypt, US and Germany. US plans to deliver aid to Gaza from a floating pier at sea. It is bound to be fraught with potential logistical and security challenges. But here is how it will work. Cargo aid ships will deliver aid onto the dock. The aid will be transferred on a vessel, which will then transfer aid to the floating pier attached to the Gazan coast. Lorries will then pick up the aid from the pier for further distribution. On the other hand, the European Union has announced an $8.06 billion funding package for Egypt as part of a push to stem migrant flows to Europe that has been criticized by rights groups. Egypt's economic adversity has pushed increasing numbers to migrate in recent years. Even then, Egypt's strategic importance has been underscored by the war in Gaza, where Egypt is trying to mediate between Israel and Hamas and increase deliveries of humanitarian aid.
I commend you for your personal efforts, Mr. President, to broker such a ceasefire. And we are also very concerned about the risks a full-scale offensive in Rafah would have on the vulnerable civilian population. This needs to be avoided at all costs.
We've also agreed with EU leaders on rejecting an Israeli military operation in Rafah, which would double the humanitarian catastrophe that civilians in the Gaza Strip are suffering from, in addition to the effects of that operation on liquidating the Palestinian cause, which Egypt outright rejects.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.